Greetings, dear, precious, magnificent, beautiful, divine spirit soul that you are. There are no words possible that could ever, what would you say, exemplify who you are, because we're beyond words. We don't grant words the privilege of controlling us. We control the words. My topic: how to activate divine intervention. We say something has divine intervention where what appeared to be something that had to happen or had to be appeared one way, all of a sudden in one moment it was transformed, and it was glorious and magnificent, and everything was in order and in harmony. And we actually activate it within ourselves. Okay. As a spiritual healer facilitator is what I do, is when you know the absolute truth about who you are, you know the absolute truth about everyone. And then we know that all problems are conceptualized. And what happens is we've been giving words the permission and privilege to dictate to us, define, create, form our reality, our experience of who we are. It's very much like if you had a person who is fixated on a game. And one of our challenges is we tend to be habitual. It's because when we have been taught to trust the mind and intelligence, information technology, what we've been taught, what we've been told in books, it doesn't matter really probably how ancient they are or anything, about how everything is, to get us to believe we're insignificant, not special, lost in space somewhere, twirling and going, wherever it is. It's like, and you're going to die, and then you're going to lose everything, and we're going to put you in this and that. It's because we're giving words, those stories, those narratives, the privilege to determine our lives and what happens. And it's a choice, it's a contract. And we've been contracting with and agreeing with lack and limitation, as that's normal. It's death and disease. This everybody happens. You get old and this happens, and you're like this and that, and then people are judging themselves by the skin that they're like a shoe repairman. What skin do you have? And you got this skin, I got this skin, I got this belief, I got this God, you got your God, I got my gift. This is just, isn't it obvious? Are people that dumbed down that they don't even notice what's going on? Or they sit and watch the same little news TVs on the internet, or the same people and the same this, and they're conforming because their new channeled religion of some kind has coming out and telling them what to be. Wait a minute. That is a big, especially if they're channeling Jesus. Oh, really? How about Moses and Abraham and Kung Fu? I mean, what are you doing? These people, it's all the beliefs that put people in a situation. Yes, there was a Yeshua, a great teacher and healer, and taught us that. You can see the Essene Gospel of Peace, to me, would be what that was, because it's truth. It's right there. It's obvious. It's obvious. Truth is obvious. And that's why we have to be lied to so often, because so that you don't have an inkling of who you are. See, something will happen, And then if you go to some called expert, they'll explain to you as nothing's a figment of your imagination or is made up, because it's not truth. Because science will tell you what's true spiritually, not some goofball religion. So we'll get rid of all of them and we'll have science be our guide and tell us about outer space and the next meteor and the next planet and the next thing we're going to coincide with. That none of that's true. Because you can't even prove it. All you can prove is what you actually know, and like right now, right there where you are, and that is how your so-called life turned out in this moment, and you who you are, successive moments of now, eternally. It's always you being. So how you activate divine intervention is to get out of the way of the nature of the divine, which is not a dog-eat-dog world. It is not like in that predictive programming, whatever movie, Matrix or whatever. Yeah, they had some stuff, but then to show you the real world been burned out, the sky been burned out. Spiritual doesn't burn out. And this is a simulation copy. That's why it's familiar. And yet it is made of the elements, which are our creative abilities. Okay, so how you activate divine intervention is you have to get out of the way. And what's stopping are these deeply planted suggestions and demands and commands in voice, in tone, in emotion, with meaning, definitions, pronunciation. Remember, it's all sound. So all this manifestation is in the reciting, the sound, the word. And yet there's transcendental sound, divine sound. And that is the sound when you tune your own body. So you start to hum and sing. I teach voice lessons because I had the greatest voice teacher ever, Maestro David Kyle. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And anyway, the maestro. And the toning and the singing. Because your voice and your tone and your emotion either makes you sick or makes you well. I mean, the Rife machine, what would you call it? Vibrational healing, and the greatest vibration for you is your own voice, not someone else's singing, but your singing. Why would you pay to go listen to somebody sing if you couldn't be singing yourself and have a sing along and then glorify them in their singing, and you don't sing because after all they're the singers and you're the listeners? That's another way that has cut you off from your divine powers and abilities and knowing, like everything else. So I invite you to invest in yourself and come to a retreat. Just email me for a flyer and I will send it to you, because I haven't really added anybody to my email list for maybe 5-6 years, so I don't really know if you're getting it. Or what may be. So I'm not have a little thing to collect it, but email me and I'll get it, and then I'll send you that. And then counseling over the phone. I don't do what you call it, cheerleading. What is it? Coaching. Only because I'm always a cheerleader anyway. But it's like my work is the greatest work in the world. In my opinion, because of what it has done for me and where I have come from and what is being revealed. And so therefore, it's so good. And when you get yourself out of the way, the best of all that is possible, the topmost, is yours. Receive it. And that's my work and my happiness. I get from your pleasure and your happiness of who you are. There is no happiness in any 5 cents gratification that can compare. And yet all of your 5 cents gratification becomes even more sweet and more delectable because of who you are. Okay. So you can email me, Cole-Whittaker.com. There's every way I can support you. Use these videos, share them, take it out into your work, and apply it, use it. It works. You know who you are. And when you could contribute financially, whatever you can, and do it with love, that then allows this to be out there, because it helps me to get it out, and Michael, for us to do this, and for the others. And it's the way you want, because it's helping you help others. But a lot of people, they only help themselves, but they don't want to help anybody else. And they also don't really know and appreciate and give for what they're receiving, because they're always looking, they're yard sale hagglers. They're always looking for a good deal. And so what happens, they're like the, in Star Trek, remember? The Ferengi. They're like the Ferengi. And if you don't know, you're just not with it. Anyway, oh, and remember Heinlein? He wrote some other interesting books. I'm just kind of into it. Anyway, contact me and activate divine intervention. Hugs.